We're back, everybody.
Guess where we're at? There we go.
We were at the Oracle Paranormal Festival, hanging out with you guys all day today.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. We had some great speakers, got some great vendors out here.
It's been wonderful.
Yeah.
And the weather's like perfect. Really.
It is perfect. Yeah, it is perfect. So we are here to present our next speaker, and it is Miss Gwendelyn Irey. Did I say that right? Thank you. Talking about how to protect yourself spiritually. So definitely important information, and we'll kick it over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's a great day in Oracle, Arizona. Yeah. Perfect weather. Getting a little windy out there, I saw. Well, thank you for coming today. Thank you for coming to my talk. And I'm going to talk today about how to spiritually protect and cleanse yourself, why that's important, and exactly how to do it. You hear these words all the time, right? Not always sure what they might be. So, who am I? My name is Gwendelyn Irey. I actually work with UAPPD. So they have a table out there. Some of you have seen that. I'm a hypnotherapist. I do hypnotic therapeutic breath work. I'm an NLP master practitioner. I do laughter yoga, Reiki 2, and energy work, and I coach people. So I have a lot of bandwidth and a lot of tools to help people going through whatever they're going through. So, well, my background is I grew up in New England. I grew up in New Hampshire. And to be honest, everything's haunted. I mean, in New Hampshire, I grew up with ghosts living on our property. Sometimes, like, George is the restaurant ghost. He would work with us at the restaurant. Sometimes he'd walk right by you and like, that's George. Now, I don't know if George's name was George, but that's what we called him. And he didn't seem to mind, so we're good. Well, I would say he didn't seem to mind, but sometimes he didn't like certain people, and he would let things fall on top of them. So plates would go tumbling, but only certain people, never myself, of course, because I was always very respectful to George. Where I grew up, we had a lot of ghosts. So sometimes you know their names, sometimes you don't, and when you don't, sometimes it's called George, right? So for me, this is kind of a natural thing. I was kind of surprised to find out that people hadn't seen ghosts before when I moved to Arizona. There are a lot less ghosts in Arizona than there are in New England. Not that there aren't any, but it's very different. So I'm really glad to be here and to talk to people. We're going to talk today about grounding, cleansing, spiritual protection, and affirmations. Now, believe it or not, this all sounds kind of woo-woo, right? But nowadays, science is starting to catch up to the woo-woo. They actually have scientific evidence that some of this stuff actually really works and why it works with your brain. So I'm a hypnotherapist, so I work with the brain and people's mental, everybody's sort of like a computer. You all have the same chips inside, but you have different software. So what I find interesting is that this stuff is now becoming more commonplace, but not enough. So I'd like to talk about it. Why? Why am I going to talk about this? Well, people often say that motivation doesn't last, right? Neither does bathing. That's why we do it daily. And that's from Zig Ziglar, not myself, right? So every day we get up, right, and we take a shower. We get all the stuff off from the day or in the morning or whatever. If we go out and work in the garden, what do you do when you come in? You wash your hands, right? You get off your dirt. You do that before you eat. But we don't talk about that in the ghost hunting, maybe as paranormal as much. And I think it's important to be prepared. I don't know about you, but in New Hampshire, if you go walking out in the woods, what do you do as soon as you get back in? You get back in from the woods, you do a scan for ticks. Because ticks are all the way out there. You don't know. Sometimes you find them and sometimes you don't, but you always look. So for me, grounding and doing these practices are an important part of life, not only in the spiritual realm, but on a day-to-day level. What is it? So I'm trying not to try not to be too scratchy. We talk about these and you'll hear people say these things, right? They say grounding, let's ground. What the heck does that mean? I don't like things that I don't know what it means. Like, I'm all good with words unless you're telling me what we're doing. So grounding is the process of connecting one's energy to the earth to foster stability, presence, emotional balance, and clarity. I keep forgetting I have a mic. I don't have to yell. I'm used to projecting. I'm old school, so I don't have to yell at you. I'm sorry. It helps one to feel more connected to their body and to the earth. It fosters calmness and connectedness. So grounding is really literally getting your feet out there. And we'll talk about how to do each one of these in the next few slides. But what grounding does is get you in touch with your reality, get you in touch with your body, put you here in the present so that you're here, so that you can fully experience whatever it is you're going through. So grounding can be a very important thing, because sometimes, have you ever met one of those people who's like, and they walk into walls because they're not paying attention, right? Or we have our phones in front of us, right? The phones, absolutely. That's not very grounded. Cleansing. Cleansing is the process of removing negative, stagnant energy from your mind, your body, and your spirit. It clears out any unwanted energy or attachments, and it resets one's energy to be clear, calm, and aligned. Why would you want to be clear, calm, and aligned? You know? I don't know about you, but life is stressful, right? All the time. I'm telling you stuff you already know for sure, right? Life is hard. It's stressful. There's a lot of stuff going on. That's why this stuff is important. It's not only important when you go into big events, it's important on a day-to-day basis, right? Do you make better decisions when you're calm or when you're angry? Calm. I don't make good decisions when I'm angry. And we usually live to regret that. So these are some really good tips on how not to do that. Spiritual protection. Now, this is a little bit more out there, but creating boundaries and spiritual shields to protect yourself from the known and the unknown negativity and negative influences. That can be a lot of different things. Now, if you ever walked into a room and it just felt icky, and you're just like, yeah, I don't care for this. Or you walk out and you feel horrible afterwards, like the people that you were hanging out with or the conversation you had just made you feel horrible. Spiritual protection is, and again, we'll go into how to do this in the next few screens, but it's a way of protecting yourself from that day-to-day stuff, because you don't know what you're going to walk into. Every day, you don't know whether you're walking into negativity, positivity. You could be walking out and see a mountain lion. You don't know. So there's ways of spiritually grounding yourself and protecting yourself. Affirmations. Now, an affirmation is a positive in the present tense statement. I'm going to actually, can I move this? It doesn't make some, I'm sorry. Like, I got it on there really good. We'll do it up here. That's better. Okay. Can you still hear me? Perfect. Okay, affirmations are a positive in the present tense statement, means to strengthen or make steady. So affirmations are to help strengthen you and make you steady, feel steady. Affirmations are often used to help create present and future states, like right now. Affirmations aren't really about the past, are they? So have you ever seen the movies where they go, I'm strong, I'm pretty, and I can do it? Right? They stand in there and it looks silly. It looks hilarious. And you go, that doesn't work. There's actual science proving, so brain science, if you get actually into brain science, which of course I'm into, your brain doesn't know the difference between real and not real. Your brain doesn't know, if you tell it a lie, it believes it. I'm ugly. Your brain goes, okay. If you go, I'm strong, your brain goes, oh, okay. Your brain goes along with the self-talk that you have, right? Subconscious, superconscious, ego, there's different things. Your voice, that everyday voice that tells you all that stuff, It's usually lying to you. Yeah, don't go out. People are scary. Everything sucks. The world is burning down. All of that negative stuff is ego. It's stuff that's meant to keep you safe. It has a place. It's important. But when we listen to it too much, we become stopped. We don't do things. We don't go out. We don't challenge ourselves. So learning how to maybe have affirmations gives you at least a little bit of an out, some language to put against that language, that negative language, right? And so you've heard of these things, right? Okay. Is there anyone that you haven't really heard of? No?
I don't know much about the spiritual protection.
Yeah, that's kind of a very, I'm going to say, a woo. It's a good woo-woo thing. I'm a New Englander, so I've had to really embrace my woo-woo because I've been like this since I was a kid. So it took me a while, but we'll go into that. Perfect. Grounding. How do you do it? What is it, right? We talked about what it is, and everybody said goes on and doesn't do anything about it. How do you ground? So there's a way for anxiety, and you're going to see that these things might work for just this piece. It'll ground you. It'll also help your anxiety. It'll also help you focus, right? It'll help you become more creative. So these things actually help a lot of different things. So they're useful tools. There's a thing where you see, the first thing you do is like, maybe you have anxiety and you're not here, and you're just like, 5 things you can see. You can see that painting over there. There's a table there. You can see a salt shaker and a pepper shaker. Counting what you can see, it brings you back into your present moment, right? 4 things that you can feel. Well, I feel nervous. This is the first time I've given this talk in this kind of actually, this is the first time I've given this talk ever. I have talked about these things with people individually. I coach people individually, but I've never stood up and talked about it out loud to a group of people like this. So I'm nervous. I'm excited. I love these talks. I love this stuff. It's my life. So, and I'm happy you're here. So 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Brings you back to each one of your senses. That's a grounding technique. If you do that process, you'll feel differently. Walking barefoot, feeling the grass or the dirt. I have a thing about, I grew up in New Hampshire. I didn't wear shoes most of my life. Well, I didn't have to.
In the winter.
The winter, we stay inside. Absolutely. But I used to hike, and I would have my feet in the dirt and in the trees. Now, I found that in Arizona, some of the grass is very sharp.
Yeah.
And if it's not in the grass and you're in the dirt, some of the things are. So in the Arizona, it's a little bit harder to do that. And that's not fun. But getting your hands or your feet laying on the ground, laying in the dirt, touching grass or dirt is good for you. It regenerates you. There's energy there. If you just, how you do it? Get your barefoot, put your feet in the sand, and then take a deep breath in. And let it out. Feel your feet in the ground. The ground, this earth is huge. Mother Nature is huge. There's lava in the middle of this planet, churning and creating things and growing stuff constantly. That's a way to get grounded. Touching or hugging a tree. Yes, I do. I hug trees. I touch flowers and plants and I talk to them. And it makes me feel good. I take pictures of them so I can post things about them later and post my thoughts. So any of that will help. Well, most trees are going to be your friend. There are some trees that don't want to be touched. That's fine. Some people are more intuitive to that. If you want to be more intuitive, walk up to a tree and start talking to it. I mean, silently in your head, say thank you. Thank you for your leaves. The more you can do those kinds of things, the more you start to feel, well, that feels good, or that, I think I'll walk away from that, right? It feels different. Hold a piece of ice. If you hold ice, it's so cold that it brings your attention right to your palm. That's great for anxiety and for depression sometimes also. Move your body. Okay, I promised I wasn't going to go like this because I have a microphone on. Move your body. You'll find me, I'll get up at work and I'll go, shake it. Okay, sorry, Taylor Swift. Shake It Off song. That's not my song, it's Taylor Swift's song, but she has it right. Shake it off. Just shake it off. Move your arms, move your legs. Pinch yourself. I don't like this one. Pinch yourself. I've done this in dreams, and I still haven't woken up, and I was mad at myself, but pinching yourself will get you back here, or like they have the elastic bands. Again, we're coming back to the long, slow breath in. If you want to do it with me, sit in your chairs. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Feel your shoulders drop. You feel the chair. Now, some of that's going to take you out. It'll be a little bit less grounded, but pay attention to your chair. Hear my voice. Hear the sounds, right? So that's a way to get grounded. There are many other ways, but these are some of the easiest, quickest, easy ways to do it. Another thing you'll learn about me is I'm back to the basics. I like to start with the simple stuff. I'm a laughter yoga leader because laughter is healing. It's the best medicine, but we don't do it. But we can. And what do you need to do laughter? Nothing. It doesn't cost me anything. I could show up and laugh anywhere for anyone, anyhow. And it's so easy, but we forget to do those things, like taking a shower every day, right? Cleansing. Now, how do you do that? Take a sea salt bath, or just even a regular salt bath. Salt is really good for you. It pulls out your toxins. Epsom salt, really good for that. Smudging with sage or Palo Santo. I have some beautiful, I love this smell. And you'll see that the people that I grew up with and when I was trained and I was learning about stuff, they would teach me how to do this. So you would light the sage, blow it out, and then the smoke, you would sort of go around yourself with a prayer or an affirmation to all my ancestors. Please cleanse and clear anything that needs to be cleansed. And that smell never leaves you and you never forget that. There is Palo Santo. It's a stone. It's not a stone. It's a this is wood. Same thing. Do the thing with the smudge and the same prayers, and you can do the same thing. These are very powerful. There is some talk nowadays about not taking things that are not yours. Like I'm not a Native American. I have been taught by shamans. I have not met a person who says don't do that. I have not met a person who does the work that says don't smudge. It's not for you. It's for everybody. If it's something good and it works for you, do that. Using bells or singing bowls or clapping. Sometimes when I'm clearing a house, I will clap in the corners, or I'll use bells. Humming. Humming actually has another scientific thing where it's calming to your nervous system. If you take a deep breath in and you go, there's a feel to it, right? You can feel the energy sort of move. Right now I'm getting so hot and the energy is moving through my body. It's another way to cleanse. When you're doing these things, you might hear me say, do a prayer, do affirmations, right? Part of it is your intention. Now, maybe you don't have the best words, right? Or maybe you don't know what to say. You can Google it nowadays. You can Google anything nowadays. But it's the intention that you're doing it with. I want to clear. I want to cleanse. I want to be clear and happy and aligned. Any of those words, when you do it with intention, it happens for your body. You understand that, right? So your brain understands it. Your body understands it. It does not have to be perfect. You don't have to do any of these perfectly to have them work for you. Use a pre-made spray like Florida water. I forgot to go look up there's a thing called Florida water. If you Google it, it will show you how to make it. I personally use fragrances like rose. I love the rose smell. It could be a room spray, but this one I know I can spray on my face. Some of them are just laundry, right? But it smells like roses. And it starts to, I feel cleansed and clear because I know when I do that, how do I feel? I feel wonderful and happy. So using essential oils, using sprays, you can actually, I have a friend who has a don't mess with me, but it's not the word mess spray. And Yeah, I'm gonna be very careful with that one. This way. Perfect, thank you. We don't have blues. So sprays, you can get sprays, you can buy them, people can make them for you can make them for yourself, under the moon, all that good stuff. Be in nature. A tree, I think in the Asian countries, they call them tree baths. You go in nature and soak up nature. There's actually science around that nowadays. Breath work. Now, again, I like to come back to the same thing. We breathe every day, right? But how do we breathe when we're stressed? I'm breathing like that right now because I'm nervous. I'm like, oh, and I'm tense. Breathing in deeply and letting out your breath deeply is a huge reset for your body. And it's really healthy for you. We don't do it very often. That's why I trained in breath work. You can actually have people, I've done ayahuasca, but you can do things that are not ayahuasca and do breath work and take you to the same sort of similar places. Because your breath is so powerful. Your body is so powerful. Having somebody guide you in something like that is very important. Yoga. Yoga is very, laughter yoga and regular yoga. A sweat lodge. If you've been into a sweat lodge, that's very cleansing, clearing. There's a process to that. And meditations. So I do lead meditations with groups. I have a small podcast I did a while ago that's out there somewhere. If you want it, go ahead and ask me. I will send it to you gladly. But it tells about my story, growing up in an abusive childhood, and how I overcame that. I didn't become this person overnight. I had to work really hard to get here and to be confident and to be healed from all the things that I went through. And it took a long time and a lot of work. But something like meditation was really important to that. Guided meditations, you can download them. BrainSync, Kelly Howell is amazing. There's tons of them. But you'll be drawn to what you need to find. So are there any questions about cleansing? No? Okay. Spiritual protection. This one's I'm gonna try it on this side. I'm not sure if I can do it. Prayer. Prayer is powerful for a reason, right? Now, do you have to believe in God? Not necessarily. Do you have to believe in a God or specific gods? Or no? And if you do, yes, right? So I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God. I believe in all kinds of different energies and spirits and things. But I pray. And prayer is not just for when you're in trouble. Prayer is for thank you. We'll go into that in the affirmations, but I do a lot of thanking and a lot of gratefulness work. So prayer is helpful, obviously. Protect me. Angels, come in and protect me. Please help. Meditation, obviously we'll do that. There's a way of, again, with the showering, I have a cleansing meditation that I do. When I have a client, that's one of the first things we do. Because it's funny, they'll come in all agitated. They'll do the cleansing meditation. And they're like, that's not, okay, I'm good. Now let's work on this other thing. It allows you to just let go of some stuff. Visualizing a shielding bubble around you. Here's the first thing you learn when you start doing psychic work or energy work is that you need to ground yourself with the earth, and then you need to shield yourself. And with that, you can imagine, you would just close your eyes, do a meditation, or you can have somebody do it with you. Imagine, you can do it right now with me if you want, but you don't have to. Imagine you take a deep breath in, let it out, and imagine there's a big bubble around you, like glittery bubble. It could be any color. It's yours. It's just for you. But it surrounds you sort of where you're comfortable. Now, you can move that bubble out farther or bring it in, but what I want you to do is when you do this bubble as protection, I want you to imagine that it goes around your feet, like you are in the bubble. So you're fully encased in that bubble, and nothing can touch you in there that you don't want. Now, a lot of times what we do is we move from the bubble and we make it a mesh, like a golden mesh, so that the things that you want to come in, but the things that you don't want to come in can't. They just can't get in there, like a mosquito net. They just can't get in. And you could do it any color, and you could do this anytime you want. You can reset it anytime you want. You should do it more than once. So that's one way of spiritually protecting yourself. Grounding, again, will spiritually help you spiritually protect. Your trees will help you, the grass. Setting clear intentions. With all of these things, your brain is so powerful. You don't know that you are a powerful creator in this world. You can ask for something and you can create it in your brain by just affirming it, saying it out loud. So my intention for today was to come and make sure that I could give good information and help anyone that came along. And that's my intention. If I go into something with an intention, sometimes I go into these networking events. Those are a little terrifying to me. Some of them are better than others. But my intention is I want to meet one person today that I can really have that conversation with. Or I want to meet two people, whatever it is. If I set my intention, I can just let it go. You set it, but then you let it go. Okay, that's my intention. I'm going to go into this and do that. So once you have an intention, have you ever wanted to buy something and all of a sudden you saw it everywhere? Yeah, I want to buy a red car. And then all of a sudden those red cars are everywhere. Did everybody just go out and buy a red car and drive around you? No, right? It seems like it. It's like, what is going on? Your brain will find what you put intention to. So put your intentions, positive intentions, make them good, and know that they're going to come true. So using stones and minerals to carry with you. So I have on a bracelet that I've made because I like crystals and minerals. And this particular bracelet is directly for spiritual protection. I keep talking into that like I'm talking into it. Okay, sorry about that. So this is amethyst, black obsidian, black tourmaline, and selenite. Now, selenite, I like crystals. I think they have energy. They work radios, so whatever. I like them. They work for me. Selenite, and then we have hematite. Now, hematite is a known mineral that if you wear it, it literally will draw in negative energy. So, but it breaks. Once it's had enough, it's and it breaks. My kid had them. My kid had to buy they bought 20 rings at a time. So oh, teenagers, I'm just saying. But it was helpful. But with the selenite on this bracelet, the selenite actually clears and cleanses. It does it automatically. Now, these stones have their things that they work with, and they're really good. But my intention, I hold it, and I have an intention that it protects me, and that it cleanses, and that it clears, and that the best possible energy is around me. And then I put it on. So again, I'm setting the intention. I'm letting them know what my intention is, whether they can talk to me or not, or have energy or not. It doesn't matter. It matters to me, and it works for me. So I use that. So, or you see pendants. People will wear pendants, or your good luck charms, right? So those can help. Staying away from negative situations and people. That's almost impossible. I know it's impossible. I really wish everybody was awesome and kind and nice to each other, but they're not. But you don't have to be in the room all the time, and you can say no. It's hard for a person who's a people pleaser and a recovering doormat, very much a recovering doormat. I had to learn to say no. I don't want to be there. I had a friend. After a while, I started talking to him. And I found that every time I talked to him, didn't see him very often, I felt like poo. I'd go home, and it wasn't anything we said. I can't picture, I don't know why, but every time I talked to him, I felt horrible. And I was like, and we had been friends for a lot of years, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. It's not really about him. Something has changed. I don't know what that is, but I just stopped doing it. I would say hi, do my duty, and walk away, right? So say no, because it doesn't help you to keep yourself in a negative situation. You're just going to draw more negativity. Call on your angels, gods, guides, and protectors. Now, angels you know about, right? God you know about. There is a belief that everybody has guides and protectors and angels around them. They are waiting for you to call on them. Anyone who does angel work would be like, they're waiting, tell them what you need, they will help you. You want a new, okay. People use it with parking spots. That's fine. It just proves that when you're asking for a parking spot and you get it, that something's working, right? You're not going to win the lottery. That's not how that works. But But call on your gods and angels. Call on the light beings. There are tons of people and energies out there to help you. Laughter. Okay, so really, when I was doing the research for this, because I research to make sure I'm not missing anything, they're like, laughter clears out everything. And I was like, I know it. And I do laughter yoga. Can you imagine? And I'm just in picture like a bad guy, like a demon guy or something. And he comes up, he's like, Gwen, I'm gonna. And I'm like, you're funny. That's cute. He's not gonna be happy. But he doesn't have power here. It's like in the movie The Labyrinth. You have no power here. You don't have to be here. I don't have to be here. So laughter can work in some. Don't use it cruelly. Don't laugh at people that don't need to be laughed at, right? I mean, use it wisely, obviously, and getting blessings. You can go to your church. You can go, I'm thinking mostly churches, but people do blessings in the prayers, and you can get a blessing for things. So those are all spiritual protection, ways to get spiritual protection, right? Check my time. Affirmations. How do you do it, and should you do it? It's just a bunch of talk in the mirror like that. Go, Gwen, go! Okay, here's the truth. Sometimes I don't want to get up in the morning to go to work. I have a day job. I have my hypnosis. I do a lot of stuff. And sometimes I don't want to get up and go to the day job, but it pays my insurance and my bills, and I'm good with that. So I'm like, come on, Gwen. Come on, Gwen. Come on, Gwen. Let's go. You could, and you know I do get out of bed. I mean, I got to do it a couple times, but I talk to myself like I would talk to a cute little dog, because we don't talk to ourselves very nicely, do we? You know, you don't get up. Why are you so tired? That doesn't get me up in the morning. So talking to myself in a better way is a great way to go. So affirmations. Here's the important things about affirmations. Use I am. I am strong. I am enough. I am funny. I am likable. Now, this is easy to say. It's not as easy to do, because it sounds really trite and it doesn't sound like it works. I came from a very violent childhood. I didn't have any self-ego. I was scared of my own shadow, shy, shockingly shy. And if you had come up and just killed me, I would have been, if you had come up and said, you don't need to go, I don't need to be here. I didn't know how to be on this planet. And there was no value. To believe that I'm good enough, or to believe that I'm good or okay or lovable or kind or strong, could not do it. Then for the girl that grew up in what I grew up in, there was no possibility. So I had to start small. Maybe someday I can be strong. I could be strong. Other people are strong, right? People go to the gym. I'll watch those people and see if I can do it. I don't think I can, but I'm going to try it. And I tried different things until I was able to start saying these things. So sometimes you have to start in a smaller venue. You don't start at the top like, I'm super successful, making $1 million a year. That's not how it happens. You don't go from the top to the bottom that quick. It's not good for you. It's not healthy for you. So I am lucky. I say I'm lucky all the time, and I really am. I find dimes, nickels on the ground. I get the best parking spots, but I'm grateful for it. So I keep saying I am lucky. The more that you say you are something, the more your brain starts to believe it. It can't help it. Your brain is wired that way. Always be the positive. You don't want to say, I am not afraid. What do you have to do? Don't think of an orange right now. What did you just think of? I'm not eating chocolate cake, man. No chocolate cake. That is my vice. What am I focused on? Chocolate cake. We do that in our words all the time. Focus on the positive. I am brave, or I'm getting braver every day. It does get better every day. Some days are horrible, but this is getting better. So use positive statements. Write them down. As soon as you write them down, stuff happens. And it's not in a phone or your tablet. It's actually the physical hand. Writing stuff down is magic. Anyone who's created anything will tell you that. Saying it out loud over and over will do the same thing. It's magic. I say it's magic, it's actually brain science. Your brain can't help but create what you tell it to create over and over and over again. Like my husband out there. I wrote about him for years. Didn't think he was ever gonna come. Didn't think it was ever not gonna happen. But dear husband, it's so good to see. I wrote him notes about how grateful I was that he was in my life and how we felt together. And then he showed up. And then I was like, oh no, now what do I do? You get what you ask for and what you think about. Repeat them out loud every day. Put one important note where you can see it every day. Don't go trying to do all of them. Pick one or two. Do that consistently until you start seeing things and proving to yourself that you can do it, because you can. If I could come where I came from and be where I am now, you can certainly get there. But it takes time, it takes energy, and it takes work. When you see yourself in the mirror, tell yourself good things. Have you ever looked in the mirror and you walk by and you're like, ooh, that was, and you realize it was good looking and it was you? Right, because what do? We look in the mirror, oh. But what if you looked in the mirror once in a blue moon even, and all of a sudden you saw you? People love you for who you are. They love you for who they see. Why don't you? Because we are so mean to ourselves. But you're fantastic. People love you for a reason. It's like, yeah, I look good today. When you look good, call it out, because there's so many days you don't feel that way. Start with small ones. Every night. So one of the other things about this is gratefulness. Every night, write down, Oprah's done it, everybody's done it, everybody's talking about gratefulness and how it works. And it gets so easy to discount the things that actually work, because they are simple, but it's habits over the day. So once I start going, oh, I'm so lucky I found this thing, I'm so grateful, thank you, I'm so grateful. You start saying stuff like that over and over again and looking for it, it starts finding you. I used to look for rock hearts shaped in the shape of rock. It took me forever. I'd go out and I would find one, I would take a picture of it and I would post about it. I find those things everywhere now. They are all over the place. I can't stop finding them. This was like 4 or 5 years ago I started the project. So now rock hearts in the shape of rocks are everywhere I go. It's a habit. Keep building it up. And when you're thankful, the universe goes, ooh, you want more of that, right? So when you eat that chocolate cake that you say you're not going to eat and you hate it, you're going to get more of it. Why don't you love it? You might get more of it, but you might also have more. You have more control and more choices when you love things than when you don't, and when you are thankful for what you have. So being thankful, writing thank you so much. So what's the thing you struggle with? I have a lot of anxiety, okay? Thank you so much for helping me with my anxiety. Thank you so much. Today I had less anxiety than the day before. Thanking it before it actually happens. And then imagining what would it look like if you didn't have it? What would it look like to get that thing or do that thing, right? So you do that more, you get into, these are just habits you can do every day that I will guarantee you make your life better. They've made my life better. I'm not the person I am here today without these things. So how do you do that? So affirmations actually, again, brain science will tell you what you concentrate on is what you get more of. And what you think of, right, what you say you get more of. When do you do it? Before, after, during, every day? Practice makes perfect. It's good habits. You wake up every day, you brush your teeth, you take a shower, you get dressed. You do these things every day. These are good practices. If you picked one today, it could change your life, possibly. They've changed my life. If you just pick one of these things that resonates with you, that makes sense for you for now. And then you can go on and choose another one, but you want to do it daily. You want to do it before you go into a situation where there might be an issue, or where you might be stressed out, or if you did it in the morning or afternoon. Sometimes writing things down in the at night makes more sense to me than the morning. Some people get up and meditate in the morning. So whenever it works for you, but we all forget, we're going to forget to do it because we're humans. I'll do it for like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great, amazing. And then like 2 months go by and I've done none of it. And I'm like, oh yeah, just It doesn't matter. We're humans. We're meant to move in and out of things, right? So just move back into it. You don't have to judge yourself for not doing it. Just move back into it. You're human. It's going to happen. This is the way life is. You should expect that. And sometimes it gets harder before it gets better. Do you really want that boundary of saying no with people? Yeah, I do. They might make it hard. Because the universe is like, universe, God, whatever, wants you to, are you clear? Are you really clear about what you want? And sometimes it will, they say test you a little bit, but that's not for today. Today is like 101. That's for the next step. So good habits, just do them. Do them more and more. Do them every day. Do them when you can remember them. You could do them at work. You could do them in the mornings, in the evenings, where people are there, where they're not there, right? There's a lot of places to use these tools. And my husband was right, it's not a whole lot. So what do you do if you need help? So say you are, and I was thinking about ghost hunting a lot because sometimes you go out and you get scared or something doesn't feel right or now you feel. My husband and I went to this place where the whole building is tilted and you go in and the mystery spot, it's called there's mystery spots in the world. We came out of that place and we were discombobulated is how I can say it. I didn't feel right in my body. And do I know the practices? Yes, I know them. Did I do them? No. I was like, I'll just keep going. And I have all the tools, right? But no, I just kept going and I ended up falling as I wasn't feeling right in my body. So if I had stopped and done that, or maybe talked to a friend, so talk to a trusted friend, somebody you can trust to tell this stuff about, right? Not a lot of us have that. Well, I grew up talking about this kind of stuff. I grew up in New England. They burn witches. I don't know. Got to be kind of careful what you share with some people. Or, some people have come to talk to me about certain things. And if I told my psychologist this, they'd be giving me drugs and putting me. I've heard a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things that I would never even believe, that I can't make up for myself. So, trusted friend, if you don't have one of those, your church, sometimes that can be a good place to go. Call or go to a metaphysical store. Now, sometimes you don't know what you need, but you just need something. Look for a seminar. If you call the metaphysical stores, those people are super helpful, some of them. So not everybody, humans are humans, but some, you're like, I'm struggling with this. Do you have something that would help? They have a lot of options that maybe you didn't really think about. So I think that's important to just explore, right? Or you can call, obviously this place is full of people. You can talk to any of the people out here and they probably have people they can talk to or send you to, right? Google search for people in your area. Reiki, energy work. Right now, anything that you Google or you put into AI, it will give you some options, right? We have so many. When I was a kid, there wasn't that. I had books, bookstores, and I trolled all the libraries and bookstores I could. And I started learning hypnosis on a tape deck, literally. I've lost it over the years, but tape decks and reading books. And then, I haven't yet, but I'm hoping to.
At least that's just something that came to me.
I like that, because I would like to. But yeah, so Google search, you could do anything now. You can find anyone who does anything. And the kind of person that's for you, because not everybody is for you. There are people who do spiritual work that are very Christian-oriented and church-oriented, right? Or not, or Native American, or whatever it is. There's a lot of, I have friends from Brazil. So there's a lot of different things. Attend these type of events. You learn a lot, right? You talk to a lot of cool people. They have a lot of knowledge. And get training. So if you can get training, look for training. A good point on this, by the way, say you see a training and they charge it's a $3,000 training, right? Ask if they take volunteers. Can I volunteer? I would be happy to check people in. I would be happy to help you. And so sometimes when I was a single mom with twins by myself, and I wanted to go to these events and I couldn't afford, $700, $800 for an event, I would ask to help. And I would go and I got to be honest, helping is a little bit of a cool thing because you get to talk to some of the speakers.
Yeah.
You get to get the ins and outs of it. You get to see things you wouldn't maybe see. So you get a different version of it. So there's ways to do everything that you want to do. So those are some of the ways to get help. But if you're not feeling right, do get help. In hypnosis, we see a lot of things. A lot of hypnotherapists are talking about attachments and entities and ghosts and other things. So it's stuff that goes around. It's stuff that's being talked about. People do know about it. But if you haven't talked to anyone who knows about it, how would you know? So, fantastic. Talk to somebody. Do it now. Don't wait. Don't wait until it's worse. What we do is we get used to the stuff in front of us. Yeah, the lights keep going on. It drives me nuts. Yeah, the lights keep going. There's things that we get used to, and then we don't think about it. We don't think, well, there's some peace we could come into there. There's something that we could do about it. So talk to somebody before it gets to be a problem. Do it sooner rather than later. Don't suffer. You don't have to. I've helped people pass on to the next life. I have personally talked to other people and come to an agreement. We share this house. Turn the lights on, but can you please leave them off? When I'm studying, I don't know. You can have these kinds of conversations and this kind of energy around stuff. There are people who can help. You are not alone. I have heard more stories than you can possibly imagine. There's nothing that you could personally tell me that I haven't heard some version of it, and it would surprise me because of what I do. And so a safe space, find somebody who gives you a safe space to do that in. There are plenty of teachers and healers in our area. There are. And there's teachers who are not in our area, but they can do Zoom. So there's a lot of options. That is the end of what I have to say today, but I was wondering, does anyone have any questions that I can answer for you? Or pondering, or thoughts? Perfect. Yeah, thank you very much for being here. You can always grab a card and people know how to get a hold of me if you have a question. Most people are really happy to help and happy to answer your questions because most people, we're all in the same thing, right? We're all in this game together. We like to help each other. And it's important. We need to bring the light into the world. We need to keep supporting each other and being helpful for everybody. So if you have any questions that maybe you didn't want to ask here, you can always email me. My card is on the table. My name is Gwendelyn Irey, and I don't think I have that's my information. If you need it or want it, or if anyone ever needs it. Again, like I said, I've heard a lot of stories. I've heard a lot of things, so I'm a safe space for people, and I take that very seriously. The work that I do is important, and helping individuals is really clear to my heart. So thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. There's more, UAPD will be in here. UAPD will be in here. They have some great stories, and that's it for me. Thank you for being here. Have a great rest of your day.